Before he'd even earned his music degree from Rutgers University, tenor saxophonist Harry Allen of Burleville had studied with Art Pelosi and Ted Kasher in Rhode Island, absorbed the recordings of Paul Gonsalves and Scott Hamilton, made the McDonald's All-American High School Jazz Band, performed with Major Holly, George Masso, Ruby Braff, and Bucky Pizzarelli, and made his first major label recording with Kenny Farron for Sony. His first album as a leader, 1988's How Long Has This Been Going On, placed him squarely on the international jazz map as a deeply rooted, highly knowledgeable player with an improvisational style all his own. He has recorded in a wide variety of settings and styles and has more than 100 critically acclaimed albums in his discography, including 70 plus as a leader or co-leader. Harry enjoys an avid international fan base and continues to tour the world. And it's my pleasure to induct Mr. Harry Allen, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. I was absolutely blown away and shocked when I got the word. It's such an honor and so humbled. And I would just like to say that my musical upbringing was so deeply rooted in Rhode Island. Paul Gonsalves was the first saxophone player I heard when I was a little boy. And also, it's very important to me that this is taking place in Pawtucket. That's where my father was born and raised. And he played me those records with Paul. He went to high school with Paul Gonsalves. And then the first record I bought was Scott Hamilton. And I heard that sound and said, wow, that's how I want to play. And I'd just like to say that, as he mentioned, Art Pelosi and Ted Kasher, two of Rhode Island legend saxophone players, were my teachers, and they were unbelievable. My band directors, Russ Arnold and Joseph Jalloway, were incredible. You know, we used to go to competitions, high school competitions. We'd win every single one we went to. Those guys did an amazing job. And I'm so blessed to have the career that I have. And I'd like to tell you just a little story of how things were handed to me. I met John Pizzarelli when I was a freshman in college. And I worked a lot with John Pizzarelli. So John had just signed a deal with RCA. RCA is one of the biggest record companies in the world. And, you know, we were young. And he said, hey, would you like to go into the studio? So I said, yeah, we went, you know, there was no money involved. It was just friends going into the studio to record something. Well, what he did was he took this record and he sent it to BMG Japan. BMG is the parent company of RCA. And there was a producer at BMG Japan. So he sent that to the producer in Japan and said, this is the next record I'd like to make. And the producer said, yeah, great, let's do it. So we went back, but the producer wanted to be in New York for it, so he comes back to New York. We go in the studio, and we record. This time, everybody gets paid. So a little while later, John Pizzarelli says, would you like to go to the studio again? And I said, yeah, sure. So we went back to the studio, recorded, but this time, John didn't sing, he hardly took any solos. It was all me, basically. And I called him afterwards, I said, well, what was that all about? I mean, you didn't sing, you hardly took any solo, it was just me playing. John Pizzarelli paid for us to go in the studio so he could send this tape to the producer in Japan and said, this is the guy you need to record next. recorded for them for 15 years, doing 2 records a year. And they had a lot of money. They said, who would you like to record with? Hank Jones? Yeah, great. Ray Brown? Yeah, great. You'd like to do a record with strings? Yeah. Oh, that would be great. Herb Ellis? Yes. Let's do Herb Ellis. That would be great. Bill Charlotte? Yeah. So, I'd just like to close by saying, every morning I wake up feeling blessed. Oh, before I say that, I would also like to thank all the people that made it possible. My parents, who were so supportive, more supportive than you could ever imagine. My beautiful wife, Ivana, who for the last 11 years kept me going. And I would just like to close saying that every morning I wake up feeling blessed that I play saxophone for a living. And I couldn't have done it without Rhode Island, and I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you very much. That's Vinny Pagano at the drums. Tim Ray at the piano. I'm kidding, Marshall Marshall was on the first gig I ever did at Cheyenne's. I was about 6 years old. Now that I'm 25, Marshall Wood on the bass. That was a tune written by the great Cole Porter, just one of those things. And we started out with Who Can I Turn To? And right now, I get to do the first of the many tributes to Mike Renzi that are going to happen tonight. Of course, Mike Renzi was one of the greatest piano players, and I can honestly say, I have never met anyone in the music business with better ears than Mike Renzi. He could hear anything. He was an amazing musician, and actually when I was just starting to play saxophone, somebody gave me a record of Ben Webster. I didn't even know who Ben Webster was. And Mike Renzi was on it. 16-year-old Mike Renzi was on this record live at the Kings and Queens, which was a club here in Rhode Island. Anyway, I got to tour with Mike Renzi and record with him a lot, and it was always a special thing to play with him. We did a record dedicated to Rhode Island. We recorded it at I forget the name of the town right next to Newport. There's a studio called the Stables. It's where the Vanderbilts used to have their horses. And there's a studio there. And we recorded there with Paul Del Nero, great bass player from Rhode Island, and Rodney Green, great drummer from New York. And it's called Rhode Island is Famous for You. And we actually found 2 songs, we could only find 2 songs about Rhode Island. Rhode Island is Famous for You is the big one. And then we found Poor Little Rhode Island, which was written so long ago. It says, the lyrics are, Poor Little Rhode Island, the smallest of the 48. How long ago it was written. So we did that on the record. There's a lobster on the cover because I don't know if you know this, but Rhode Island is known for seafood. So here's a song that I recorded with Mike Renzi. It's a beautiful song written by Johnny Mandel and Alan and Marilyn Bergman. And I'd like to play for you now for Mike Renzi. This is Where Do You Start? Thank you very much. Mike Crazy was special, and you're going to hear more tributes to him later. We're going to close my portion of the show, but you're not going to get rid of me that easily. I'm coming back, so we're going to close my portion of the show with a tune written by the great Neil Hefti. Neil Hefti was one of the great arrangers. He's a great composer. Wrote the theme from The Odd Couple. He wrote the theme from Batman. And somebody recently wrote, no, Prince wrote the theme from Batman. Yeah. He wrote the original theme. That's Neil Hefti. And this is a song, he wrote a lot of stuff for the great Count Basie, and this is one he wrote for Count. This is called Splanky. One, two, one,